Why do some men show interest and then go distant or pull away? Hi, this is Helena Hart from CommitmentConnection.com, and I received a great question from a woman in our community, and it's a really common situation, so I definitely wanted to answer this one today. I'll just go ahead and read it. She says, why do some men show interest and then all of a sudden go cold and distant, even though you know you didn't do anything wrong? And that is such an unbelievably common situation. So if you're experiencing this, you're definitely not alone. I went through this over and over again when I was single, and I can't tell you how many women I hear from every week who are in this exact same situation, feeling confused because a man came on really strong at first, and then the second she showed interest in him or reciprocated his feelings or showed that she even had a hint of expectations about a potential relationship, the man backed off and went distant or pulled away, like you said. So what is going on here is that we all basically have a certain amount of intimacy and closeness that we can tolerate. So let's say a man, I'll just use my hands to demonstrate, a man can tolerate this much intimacy and closeness. And maybe you can tolerate a little more. Maybe you can tolerate that much. So if a man can tolerate this much intimacy and maybe he doesn't know if you're interested or he's just attracted to you right off the bat, he will kind of start to close the gap a little bit. But then, if you start getting too close or if things just get too intense too quickly, this is too much for him. He can't handle that much intimacy and closeness, so he will back off. And if you are coming towards him, you'll see him keep backing off. That just happens so often. I hear about that all the time. Now, sometimes it's normal when a man, as soon as his feelings are kind of deepening, let's say he's spending a lot of time with you and things are kind of intense, sometimes it's normal for a man to back off just a little bit to kind of get some space and have his testosterone build back up. It's just a physiological thing. That is normal to a certain degree. But like you said, if it's a pattern where as soon as it gets too close, the man backs off, that has to do with the intimacy and closeness. If another example is if you've ever been in line at the store, like the grocery store or something, and the person behind you is just standing a little too close to you and you can just sense it and you kind of want to take a step away from them. That's sort of what's going on in an emotional sense. And by the way, us women have the same thing going on as well. So, for myself in my past, I could only tolerate that much intimacy. So I would only feel attracted to men who could tolerate the same amount. And those were sort of like the emotionally unavailable men. On some level, subconsciously, I could kind of sense that maybe there was no risk of a real intimate, committed relationship. So those were the kind of men that I was attracted to and the kind of men I would attract. So it's something you might want to take a look at in yourself. If you're continually attracting men who do this hot and cold thing, there may be a part of yourself that's deeply afraid of real intimacy or commitment or letting a man get too close. And, if you might be scared that if he sees who you really are, he's going to lose interest. So that's sort of a deeper answer to your question. A lot of times we attract men who can tolerate the same amount of intimacy and closeness that we can, even though we say we want a close, intimate relationship, sometimes on a deep, unconscious level. That's really terrifying. Intimacy can be scary. We feel like on some level we might merge with the other person, and at the same time we kind of want to merge with the other person, and it's this conflict that we have going on, and men have these same fears and feelings as well. So the key is finding a man who can tolerate the same amount of intimacy and closeness that you can. And really, if you can tolerate this much, but you want to be with a man who can tolerate that much, you have to sort of baby step your way through this and get comfortable letting men get close to you and just in baby steps learning how to receive their affection and love. So you want to take a look at how this is going on both ways. The kind of men you're attracting, how much closeness and intimacy can they tolerate, and then taking a look at yourself and really getting deep and trying to figure out how much intimacy and closeness can you tolerate. If men come on strong and they keep showing interest in you, do you feel like you need to take a step back sometimes? So this is just a really interesting big topic. If anyone has any questions about this, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I hope to talk with you all again soon. If you enjoyed this video, click the button to subscribe on the right side of the video. And if you're ready to discover the secrets to having the relationship you've always dreamed of, click on the button to go to our website, commitmentconnection.com.